Hello and welcome to this presentation of Mobile2Sage. My name is Martirosian and I'm going to run you through the key features of our care home accommodation and recharge system. So let's get started. Care homes have two key components that need to go on an invoice. The first is the monthly charge for the resident staying there, and that can be either partly funded or fully funded, and also charges for other things that they might have whilst during their stay, so things like cigarettes, newspapers, toiletries and so on. So as far as the monthly charges are concerned, those are normally best handled using an Excel spreadsheet import. So here's my Excel spreadsheet which shows the charges for my 10 residents. Now these residents could be in a single Sage company or multiple Sage companies. We can cater for both of those. So the first thing to do is actually import these in. So I'll go into the module. I don't have any in at the moment, and what I'll do is I'll just go to my care home accommodation charges tab, and with one button I'll just import those in, and I'll continue with that, and there we are. So these are the monthly charges for my 10 residents, and the first thing I want to do is make sure I've got the codes right. So I'll just run a thing, and that has checked to make sure that those customer codes, resident codes, exist in that Sage company. Brilliant. So having done that, what I want to do is now start adding some recharges to it. So I'll just add that through Recharges tab, and that will then make them visible to allow my care home managers, who can then log in from an iPad or a browser to add in the recharges that have been incurred at those particular care homes. So let's go into a browser. Here's my browser, and these are my residents that I've just brought in. So let's look at all the new ones, and there we are. So my top resident, Andy Murray, and let's say that he has now incurred a recharge. So what I can do is go in here and pick the date. Let's say 1st of June, and on the 1st of June he had some cigarettes. He had a pack of those at £10. Great. But he also had some newspapers on the 2nd. So again, I'll go to a recharge code, newspapers. He had one of those for £2, and he also had another newspaper on the 3rd of June. So you just basically are adding what was utilized as it's utilized. It's very simple and very easy to do. Now, what we don't want is let's say he had newspapers on 30 days of the month. If we produced an invoice now, he would have 30 entries for newspapers. Well, actually what we want is a consolidated invoice with just one line for newspapers. So now that's it. The care home manager has put in all the recharges. That's his job done and dusted. The accountant back at the office can then just refresh this to see all the transactions that need to be posted into Sage. And here we are. So here are the charges for my care home for this month, and I can see Andy Murray has had his resident care, and he's had his cigarettes and his newspapers. So what I can do is just literally with one button produce a consolidated invoice which will go into Sage, and it will send me an Excel spreadsheet of what it's done. So let's go and have a quick look at that. So here's the Excel spreadsheet showing all the different lines, but if I go to the right hand side here are the ones for Care Home 1, Care 1, which is Andy Murray. You can note that there are only 3 lines rather than 4, and that's because it has consolidated the newspapers into one line. Great. So now if I go back into my app and have a look at that, I can see that Care 1 has been imported into Sage as invoice 827. So let's go and have a look at that. So I'll go into Sage, I just refresh that, and there's 827. If I open that up, there we are. So I can see his resident charges, I can see his cigarettes, but more importantly I can see a consolidated line for his newspapers. And that's it. Dead simple. So Excel spreadsheet for the accommodation charges, and then the care home managers can log in through a browser or an iPad and put the recharges on. And the accountant then can just double check it, press one button, and produce a consolidated invoice. Well, I hope you found that presentation of interest. Please feel free to give me a call or drop me an email to discuss your requirement and to arrange a free trial. Thank you.